who bagged a first-class degree in sociology and emerged as the best graduating student from the University of Ibadan. Welcome with us, Mr. Farouk Sani, to the show. Good to have you on the show.
Welcome, sir.
So you can call and join the conversation on 081-0764-1679, 090-24163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read it. But you now went back to school to even start school with your son. Tell us about that journey, your decision to go back to school.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a decision that I was quite intentional about because just as you must have read, we had this uncle whose word was a law. He would simply just collect our whole level certificates and we assign courses to us. Places. Your passion was completely irrelevant. So we'll collect it, okay, A1 days, A2 days, you go and read pharmacy. You go and read this. So in my own case, accounting was assigned to me. I didn't know how he came about that conclusion. But I did not know the nitty-gritty of accounting either. So I didn't know the journey I was embarking on. But because what is worth doing at all is worth doing well, and it appears I have a competitive nature, so I just entered it and I just continued to endure. But there was a friend of mine that I constantly complained to, Kolade Ogedengbe, that why is this course so rigid? Everything is fixated. Just say debit the receiver, credit the giver. That's the rule of double entry. Is there nothing we can do about this? He said, no, there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, I want a situation whereby you ask me a question and I will have the latitude to expand my horizon. For instance, with University of Ife. And it took the intervention of one of my great bosses, Sam Onyovosa, to remind me about writing ICANN. In fact, when he asked me, it did not occur to me what he was talking about. So, as he will fondly call me.
Through those mixed experiences you had with the different students in your department?
You know, the major inquiry that led me to sociology was to find out answers to why do people behave the way they behave. So it was a journey that I was well prepared for. Otherwise, I will be a round peg in a square hole at the end of the day. So I expected all of that. I knew that I needed to be that magnanimous. So human beings are subjective. The whole world is the laboratory. It's not an exact science. So a gentleman you crack a joke with today, it does not pick an offense. Tomorrow you crack the same joke. It takes offense. And you begin to wonder what is the problem. Are you not the same person?
So, the moods have changed.
Over 90% of these kids will call me Baba, Daddy. And of course, I felt respected. Naturally, I will be glad. Then you had those who will insist on treating me officially. Mr. Sonny.
That's like your grandpa.
I had to adjust. You know, listening to an 18-year-old, 19-year-old saying Mr. and persistently, he will not change it. Mr. Sonny, I adjusted. Then you now had one or two say, yes, he's a daddy, but it's not my father. Let me say the way exactly he said it, but it's not my father. So I needed to be that large-hearted. I knew that they were kids. I have the likes of them. Even in the class, there were things they do that I know that they just did those things innocently. Maybe one of them wanted to pass a book. That book will be passed over and above my head. Of course, I will not say anything. And also, you know, you have to mind yourself. You know, there's a Yoruba proverb that says,
Break it down, please.
Yeah. That if you don't want to be disgraced, you also have to respect yourself. So I did not take it upon myself to suddenly become their counselor. No, I want you to be this. So if you wanted my advice, you would come to me.
Oh, nice.
So
okay,
otherwise,
let's get it. You seem to have a lot of Let's get a lot of things from you.
So for me, it's just brain power. Because they tell us, oh, the older you get, the harder it becomes. And here you are, you bagged first class plus 8 awards above all those small children. What were you eating? What were you drinking? How did it work out this way?
Thank you very much. Please, let me first give all glory unto Almighty God. Because I'd be deceiving myself if I did not do this. Do you know that I am aware that this brain today is not as sharp as it used to be? Well, of course, only very few people will believe that. That I about if it had wanted to be sharp, what else will you get? Because when you look at time efficiency, those days I would read a page. I will read 2 pages. I will not go back to those pages.
It sticks.
Locked. And I could be sure that I'll be able to deliver when necessary. These days, let me tell you, what I will spend 1 hour fixing, today I will spend 3 hours.
Okay.
So, but I needed to ensure that it's well locked so that there will not be an
If you are
accident.
taking sociology in 85,
In the exam. But what I had then, you know what I had then, which was a very strong retentive memory, which I have less of now. But there is something I have today that I did not have there.
Yes,
Which
that's
is?
what happens.
So I have the experience today. If you ask me the question, the way I will answer that question, the majority of lecturers will just, in fact, let me just give him an A.
Case in point right now.
Because the idea is I will be determined to exceed expectations.
Okay.
So I want to take you to retired but not tired.
Okay, I'm going to just join the next bus to Ibadan. And then when I got there, it was not all about rest. I started resting and I became over-rested. And you know, petty illness started creeping in. And I looked at myself, what is going on? And I started visiting hospitals. You know, physiotherapy sessions, paying 5,000 naira per session. And it got to a time that the doctor said, please, can I have your history as far as career is concerned? When I told him, he said, no wonder. How can you just retire suddenly that way? So I now sat back and I remember, why do people behave the way they behave? This is an inquiry that I have to now set forth to get. So 2017, I just went to University of Ibadan. And with my kid, who also wanted to enter the university then. And I think the first port of call was the Department of Psychology. We met a professor, I can't remember the name there, who told us that, oh, psychology, the emphasis is on the individual. But the way I'm listening to you, why do people behave the way they behave? You may be a natural sociologist. So that was why I was led to the sociology department. And I was made to understand that we will have to go through JAMB.
So you wrote JAM?
I wrote JAMB.
I
I had thought that with my accounting certificate, I'll be given a direct admission. So Ibadan can be very conservative, and I'm very proud of that.
Okay.
So they made me understand that I will have to write JAMB. So I had to prepare. We went to Bere bookshop.
And you were reading
You and your son were reading together.
My daughter.
Your daughter?
Yes.
Both of you wrote JAM
was going
together?
in for law. So we read together, we prepared hard. Along go for it. God favored the week. So we got that admission, and you know.
Were you ever in class with her at any point?
Did we study any course together at any point in time in sociology? No. Because she, let me say, she spent 1 year somewhere else when she ought to have been in law. Otherwise, we will have been in classes like, in some of the classes, we have been together, electives. We have been together in this class.
You went back, you studied sociology, and the question you've reiterated over and over again is, why do people behave the way they do? Now that you have started this journey, is it really for you to know? Is it do you want to apply it, you know, in some way, this knowledge that you have? Is this something you're looking to apply it as regards our country, or is this something you want to just know for yourself and your smaller community? What's the purpose?
Thank you very much. Initially, it was just to discover the answer to that question. Initially, as for being a lecturer, you know, when you have a passion for a thing, it's a completely different ball game. I remember I used to say that I could teach even without being paid. Gratuitous service. I mean, I took up teaching English to secondary school leavers, and I remember that I was collecting a peanut, 100 naira, from them. Because I told them then that I would prove to them that English is the simplest subject in the world. Also, I started the Foresight Grammarians. And I was producing students. And anytime I produce them for GCE, I will also write that GCE with them. So I've written like 11 times English.
Wow.
So some of them will make an A1, I will also make an A1. And a few of them will come back to me to say, so Baba, you can say that we are on the same level. You made an A1, I made an A1. So sociology, understanding the way people behave. As a sociologist, you will appreciate people's differences and you respect their spaces. You can't come here to tell me that because an Igbo man ties wrapper, that therefore it's not right. Which parameters did you use? That tie wrapper is symbolic. We have something we call symbolic interactionism in sociology. It has a meaning and a lot of meaning to them. Wearing the red cap, it has a meaning. To the Yoruba man, it may not mean anything. Just as the ring means a lot to a married woman. So, I actually want to apply this knowledge, perpetuate my understanding of human beings, particularly my household first, my wives.
How many wives do you have?
Oh, I have 3 wives.
Really?
Yes.
And they live together in the same house or they're spread across the
Hey, you
Nigeria?
have changed topic.
No, we just want to know. It's
just a
about
question.
him today.
Maybe you'll bring me back here. Yes. We are living together.
Oh, live together. Oh, fantastic. I'd love to interview that.
Living
Have you
together.
back.
You sound like a disciplinarian. You sound like a very strict man who, when you set your mind, when you make the rules, that authority, you don't need to talk
who
much.
remind
Everybody
me of?
falls
That's the kind of-
in line. Is that the kind
Don't you dare.
You see, I am. I am. Then, I have to consciously water down hard lines, particularly when dealing with women.
Why? Why was that?
Oh, yes, when dealing with people who are not significant others to you. You can give instructions. When they fail to comply, you can apply sanctions. You can say, okay, you are sacked. You can't really sack your wife.
You should be in the theater too.
You see, and on many occasions, when you look at the complexity,
Yes.
on many occasions, when you look at the complexity, you also have to be careful not to transfer the civil war at home to the place of work.
Yes.
So is there civil war at home?
The temperature will always be warm.
I love that.
The temperature will always be warm. And that was why I embarked on that topic, my project. Domestic violence in polygynous Muslim marriages.
I love it.
Because I know the way my house is, so I wanted to know whether there were things I was not doing right. Are people just doing impression management outside there? Because I know what I'm going through. Ọwọ́ líle díẹ̀, ọwọ́ dírọ̀ díẹ̀ la fi ń ṣèlú.
As a
You
little
have to
to
apply
the left, a little
carrots
to the right.
and sticks.
Yeah.
So handling women will not particularly appreciate you being overtly rigid. You have to be that persuasive, where you have to step, where you have to calm down.
So let me ask you this question. You combine multiple roles. You were a father. You had your child, one of your daughter in school with you.
2 of them.
2 of them in school with you. You have wives.
Multiple wives.
And
Father.
you were also studying. So fatherhood, studying, being a husband, being a provider, all of that together, and you still came out in flying colors. What would you say were the key things that influenced or strengthened you so somebody watching can get inspired?
Yes, my sister here mentioned one. But the first one I will mention is that passion. Passion hardly dies.
They say it's overrated. Tell us about it.
No. Passion is not overrated. Because you are not going to really become self-actualized if you don't fulfill. It's like not fulfilling one's mission in life.
God bless you.
After reading that accounting, I thought that the course for me that will allow me to be flexible was management. So I picked up MSc in International Management from University of Liverpool, London. I realized that I was still not satisfied. I started the PhD program. Then I asked myself, is this actually asking my question? This is asking business questions. Leadership and organizational change. So I had to come back. So passion is number 1. The second one is discipline. And with discipline, there are so many things that you have to compartmentalize. I knew that I had very little time. So I would spend that time very judiciously. While in school, I looked at free times. There was no time that was free to me. I was well known in the library. And weekends, all classes would be locked. I was not going also to become a burden to friendly lecturers. No, otherwise I could have asked them for the keys to their offices. I will not do that.
Yeah, respect.
When you come to the Faculty of Social Sciences, the car park, there are a lot of trees there. I actually took a table and a chair that I tied to the tree. So on Saturdays or weekends, I will be there, I will study. And truly speaking, when you have very hard study for 3, 4, 5 hours, you'll be okay. I knew that going home, I would not be able to do anything. Oh, my wife will tell you, you have been away since, and you are here now. What else?
Sorry,
what are you doing
sorry,
again?
we have very little time. It's not all the time we have a man that has 3 wives. You know, on our show. I'm not sure we've had one before. So it's good to have an insight. How do you manage that? I mean, to help men who go into polygamy can learn from you that this is how Mr. Sani was able to manage 3 wives. Because now that you have educated, you now know why people behave the way they do. Has it helped you now in managing these 3 different personalities in your house?
Even then, it is still tough. You know, one thing is knowing the principles. The other thing is applying those principles.
Yes.
Then who is the person you are going to apply?
Right.
I'm going to apply these principles to Auntie Morayo and they will work. I will apply them to you, they will not work. That is the subjective element of the human being. No one cap fits all. So you have to treat them individually.
Present.
For instance,
And check your capacity.
somebody will want to know, why are you even embarking on this? What is the outcome? So for such a person, it could be economic determinism. That if it's not going to bring money, so I don't know why you are wasting your time.
Exactly.
And you know, at times you may also be infringing on their rights. Because when you are supposed to be available, even though they are also not available themselves, they would like to tell you that why are you not always available? You are also away Monday to Saturday, okay? But at night, we can do whatever we need to do.
Is there a schedule for night?
Oh, usually there must be if you don't want chaos. And that schedule must be respected.
They are not favorites.
And they must also be carried along.
We must
If you
agree.
want it one day, so be it.
Okay.
If somebody says and whispers to your ears,
Come.
Give me 2 days.
that does not allow us
How does
to do any
favoritism
planning.
work in
Because
that?
when I enter your room today or you enter my room today, I may have a hangover that I would like to discuss with you when you next come. So this one day will not work. You will find a way of selling that idea to others. You
that they
persuade
buy
them
in.
so that they buy in. So that you can do 2 days.
We need to bring him back. We need to bring master class on polygamy.
Because, as I say, we don't have guests like you all the time. So once in a while we have that is knowledgeable, that is mature, that has done it successfully. We need that information because lots of people are suffering in polygamy. They don't know how to handle it, but it's good to hear from you. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up.
I wish we
Completely
can
out of-
show.
And you know, I have no regrets. Going into polygyny. It's not polygamy. Polygyny.
Okay.
Polygyny when a man marries more than one wife. Okay. Polyandry when a woman marries more than one husband. And polygamy now is the father. Polygamy is either when a man takes multiple wives or when a woman takes multiple husbands. Polygamy. The
That's
polygyny,
the definition. Polygyny a man, polyandry a woman.
Nice.
We are being schooled. We are being schooled.
Thank you. That is successful. Fantastic.
Well done, sir.
Good to have you on the show. We hope to bring you back soon. Hopefully our producers will bring you back. We'll have a full show on polygyny, how to manage a successful polygynous relationship.
Even fatherhood.
And fatherhood.
That
Love
would be
that.
interesting.
Be happy to
A lot of people are engaged me to do that for them. And I do.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you.